here are some city matters that you may be hearing making news today. An appeal of the city's ward boundary structure is set to go before the Ontario Municipal Board on August the 3rd for a preliminary hearing. The appeal was launched by two residents who felt the minor changes made by council earlier this year are fundamentally undemocratic because they don't address the growing population differences between wards. The city paid more than $260,000 to a consultant who recommended either a 16-ward or redrawn 15-ward structure. A final decision has to be made by the end of the year to be ready for the 2018 election. Meanwhile, the city plans to spend $16,000 to install cameras to monitor who's using the Red Hill and Lincoln Alexander parkways. Councillors want to see if out-of-town trucks are using the route as a shortcut between the QEW and 403 rather than going over the Skyway Bridge. The cameras will allow the city to trace truck license plates and time how long they actually stay within our city. The idea is to be able to ask the provincial government, for more money to maintain the highways if it can be proven a lot of the traffic isn't local. The Provincial Minister of Community and Social Services visited Hamilton this week to confirm more help for people with developmental disabilities in the local community. Tristan Marks was at the announcement to find out more.
I'm standing outside of Contact Hamilton, where Ontario's Minister of Communities and Social Services announced new initiatives from the province, which are designed to help people with developmental difficulties connect with local resources and programs.
The initiatives aim to assist individuals by enhancing service navigation and information resources at Developmental Services Ontario offices. So in other words, there will be more information as to what's out there and more assistance in actually making sure people get to the service that they think is most appropriate. So that linking row, or as we like to call it, navigation, is going to be enhanced.
The province is investing $12.5 million as part of these initiatives, including $3 million going directly towards the Adult Protective Service Workers Program.
To expand family support resources and networks by increasing the Adult Protective Service Worker Program, APSW, and we will be providing more specialized services and supports that will improve the lives of adults with complex needs. All in all, these actions further our goal of a more inclusive, person-centered approach to delivering developmental services. And most importantly, I know this investment will make a meaningful impact in the lives of the individuals and families that we serve. Together, we will continue to work to provide greater flexibility, choice, and inclusion in the developmental services that we offer.
This announcement comes as Ontario's provincial election draws ever closer. For City Matters, I'm Tristan Marks.
The money announced Wednesday is part of this year's provincial budget. The Liberal government has been making a number of similar announcements over the past couple of weeks since the legislature shut down for the summer. City Matters at noon, 4, 6, and 10 p.m. right here on Cable 14 or anytime on cable14now.com.
For the first time going back to the year 2000, the number of times Hamilton police use force has fallen below 200. Last year's stats show just 172 incidents where police drew a gun, used a taser or pepper spray, or otherwise used physical violence. Officers actually fired their guns 18 times. 17 of those were to euthanize injured animals. The 18th was the fatal shooting of Tony Divers on James Street South. It's still unknown why the decision to fire on the unarmed man was made, but police reported the decision to use force happens most often when they believe someone has a weapon. Meanwhile, numbers going before the Hamilton Police Services Board on Friday show the number of charges, arrests, and street checks performed by the police action team continues to drop, with just 6 street checks last year compared to almost 5,000 in 2012. Also known as carding, the drop is partly related to accusations they unfairly targeted minorities and changes in provincial legislation. The unit focuses on visibly patrolling downtown areas by bike and foot. The same stats also showing the action unit handed out more tickets and did more building checks. And there's hope. Record high water levels on Lake Ontario will start to drop more quickly now that a joint U.S.-Canadian board has decided to increase the amount of water flowing over the dam at the entrance to the St. Lawrence River. The board has been getting a lot of blame for refusing to help with flooding around the lake that's destroyed parts of Hamilton's waterfront trail. But the board says this is the first time it will release this much water on an ongoing basis, and the faster current will make the river more dangerous. We discuss these and other current issues on City Matters at noon, 4, 6, and 10 p.m. right here on Cable 14 or anytime on cable14now.com.
what is it that you are doing this upcoming weekend?
Yeah, I'm here in Ancaster actually. I'm starting a Melissa Tancredi Academy. It's the first time I've ever done something like this. I usually just do a 1-year camp, but I knew that there had to be some sort of consistency in training around this area, and I think just offering an academy and coming in 3 times a year and having 3 weekends and getting some good soccer in would be huge for this area.
Oh, for sure. Do you happen to notice like any up-and-coming stars at all?
Well, there are a lot, yeah. Surprisingly, I was just blown away with the level that, these kids are having at this age. Me at that age, not even close, and it's just a testament to what soccer is in Canada right now, and the kids are just way more advanced in their skill level, and hopefully it continues that way. And yeah, I'm going to see some kids tonight. Hopefully there's some good Christine Sinclairs in there, and yeah, the future's looking bright, obviously. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm hoping to cover that tonight. So I'll
awesome.
make sure to be able to get a couple shots of that as well.
All right, perfect.
So how is it with retirement right now? What? How has that motivated you to do this? Like, did that motivate you, or was there something else that kind of clicked that made you want to do this?
I think just the ability to have time to come back and do something like this. The offer was put on the table. I think it's pretty amazing that Ancaster Soccer kind of extended their hand and said, listen, we want you involved, and it's cool. It's cool for me to come back and do this, and I have the time now. Kind of.
Yeah.
I am working more hours, but I do have the time and the flexibility to kind of get out there and do things like this. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and obviously I wasn't able to do. I'm only able to offer, something around Christmas time. But now, as a normal person,
Yeah.
I have time to get out there 3 times a year, get in here and change some structure around, change the idea of soccer training, I think, a little bit, and add a little academy at a higher elite level. So.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And I noticed that was it last year that you had finished your chiropractor degree?
2014, I actually graduated.
Oh my goodness,
yes.
that was unbelievable. I cannot believe that you were able to succeed while also succeeding in the Olympics. Like that, I found that so inspirational.
Wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, thank you. I am pretty proud of that as well.
Oh, for sure, I can only imagine. Do you encourage that without any of the other up-and-coming girls?
It's hard, right? Because nowadays, in order to be the best at something, you have to kind of dedicate 100% to it. And the field is so competitive, especially in the soccer world. It's very competitive. I lucked out in that I kind of balanced a 4-year, 5-year schedule over 8 years, and so that's how I was able to do it, kind of spread it out. But I'm a full believer in academics. I've always been, especially in female sports. That's going to be not only your foundation, but that's going to be your fallback plan if sport doesn't work out.
Exactly.
So it's super important. It's very important. I think. We stress the athletic part of it, which is very important as well. But I think to enable a child to be able to develop on the field and off the field, I think that's the perfect balance right there. And I think we have to support that as athletes, as role models, as well as parents and coaches and teachers. And absolutely, I think that's my stance on it. I for sure would recommend kids, doing both and wanting to excel at both.
Exactly.
And you're kind of going to go up and down with the balance. Sometimes you're going to have more time into your schooling. Sometimes you're going to have more time into your soccer or whatever sport you play. But in the end, it has to equal out, and you'll reap the benefits in the end. I finished a national team career and ended up being a doctor, so
Exactly.
That's kind of cool.
I thought that was unbelievable. I was reading it up and I was like, she did this and then this right after? Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I'm unbelievably inspired by you.
Oh, thank you.
With the future for these girls within Ancaster, are there other ones that you do outside of Ancaster?
Yeah, I do one in Stony Creek every single Christmas. It's called Grass to Gold. Yeah, my Grass to Gold camp has been pretty successful. We've been moving it. We've done a little bit in BC as well, and that's where I reside now. So I'm looking to add a little bit of an academy or Grass to Gold in my area in BC. So that will be, I can't spread myself too thin. So the 2 provinces right now is a bit of a balance, but it's always great to come back. I love this area, and this is where I grew up. So
Exactly.
absolutely something on my radar I've wanted to do for a while.
Yeah, and then last question is how do you feel about the field being named after you within Ancaster here?
It's going to be named after me?
I thought they told you.
Surprise, ruined!
I asked, I was like, if she's aware of this, and they're like, yeah, she'll be a little humble about it. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll make sure.
Yeah, humble, very humble. Well, that's amazing. I had no idea. No, that's very cool.
The T's are crossed, the I's are dotted.
I love that. Okay, well, thank you.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Well, how does that feel?
was great. It's very, oh my God, yeah, that's amazing, you know, like, that's something that'll stay forever, and I think, you know, that, that's quite an honor, to be honest. And to have a field, I don't know which one, I think it's the community center, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But that's a field that I grew up on, I played on, I worked camps on, you know, in the summers. It's pretty crazy to have kind of your name there, and it's a constant reminder for kids that, you know, a little girl was playing on this field and ended up fulfilling her dreams 10 years later, you know, so I think that's really cool, and thank you.
I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
Kind of honored to be able to do that. But
Yeah,
at the same
that's
time,
awesome.
the girls are going to be able to attend your thing this weekend, and then they'll be able to say that they played on their
That's
coach's
incredible.
field.
Yeah, that's incredible. Wow.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Is there anything else that you were willing to add? Maybe a quick message for the girls who are going to be coming out for this weekend.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Really excited, you know, energized about it. It's going to be fun, but at the same time challenging, and looking forward to meeting some new players, and you know, getting involved in this community will be very exciting for me.
Perfect. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
Sorry for breaking the
No
news to you that
problem.
way.
That's pretty cool.
That was actually pretty awesome.